So as we all know, yesterday, Nintendo had the direct for the Switch 2, and they showed off a lot of interesting things, and uh, we have a lot to talk about. Um, for this video only, we are going to be going over the direct and only providing the objective information. There will be no critiquing in this video. We are going to save that for another video in the future. But to help me out here, I have my good friends Dane and IQ. How are you boys doing today?
Yo, doing great.
How about you introduce
Hello.
yourself so the audience knows who you are?
Doing great too.
Here, Dane, you start.
My name is Dane. I play Mario.
Forgetting the former world record holder for the speedrun of Happy Feet on the GameCube.
Maybe current still. Who knows? I haven't
Current,
checked.
I thought you were overtaken. Whatever, we'll look at that later. And then IQ, you.
I'm IQ. I play Strive.
All right, the three of us have been on Nintendo for many years, and we've been following this pretty much since the Switch first was announced back in what was it, 16? Yeah,
Something
2016.
like that.
Uh, so I have the direct pulled up here, and we are going to run through everything here real quick, starting with Mario Kart Worlds. Now, the concept of an open world racing game is nothing new. We've seen this before in Forza Horizon, more recently the Crew Motorfest, and I believe Burnout as well. But obviously this has not been done in Mario Kart before. This is a big revolution in what the for the franchise. But I'm curious, what are you guys' takes on this? Because you look at the other games I just mentioned, and uh, they are, with the an exception to Burnouts, like more realistic simulator ish. So, what's you guys' take on doing an open world racing game in a game as cartoony as Mario Kart's?
Dude, I think this new Mario Kart game looks like the coolest thing ever. Like, I can race across like the entire world with like a billion other people. I can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows.
I was about to say
Oh
that.
yeah, the cow. Not only that, they have the snowman as well. Like you can play as the snowman, the coin coffer, the
The
Goomba, the Hammer
penguin.
Bro. Like they're put like everyone is here. It's literally Smash all over again.
It's crazy. No, I thought there was a chance they could go the like Smash route or something. Where they just add like a bunch of characters from other franchises and stuff. But I'm glad they stick with like the Mario and just added a bunch of
Me
random Mario
too.
characters. I
Me
think it's
too.
so funny.
Yeah, I feel like that they should kind of stick with that for now.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this, IQ?
It's cool. You can play as the sidestepper.
Okay. So I'm not gonna go too in depth over this because so there was a little bit that was shown in the treehouse that happened earlier today. Uh, I'm not gonna go over too much from that, but all I know is that there are only 32 tracks in the game, sure which that is a massive step down from Mario Kart 8, where if you had the booster course back, you had literally 96. But
Mhm.
then again, you have to think back. 32 is the standard of Mario Kart, and then 8 having 96 was just an oddity.
Yeah. Also, it's been like 8 years or something since like Mario Kart 8 came out.
Yeah, yeah. Mind you, it came out on the Wii U. 8 Deluxe was just a port to the Switch with extra
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. How long has it actually been then? I'm curious.
I don't
'Cause
know.
they've been like updating the game the entire time.
Here,
So like all the DLC and they added more courses to the deluxe and
here.
stuff.
Let me
The Wii U,
look it
the
up
Wii U
real
version was
quick.
released in 2014.
Is it
So that's
2014?
almost 10 years.
More than 10
Yeah,
years.
that's crazy.
Mario Kart 8. Okay, here's a Wikipedia page. Yep,
Mario Kart 8
2014. You're
released
right.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
IQ is right. 2014.
Yeah, it's been
So,
like
yeah.
Mario Kart
So
8.
moving on, then we have game chats, which we're gonna kind of skip over this one, but
Wait, no, I want to add on. Go to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the video where they showcase the game chat.
I'm watching the VOD. I don't know what timestamp that is. But
It's like really choppy.
yeah, you'll kind of see. I'm rolling the VOD here. You'll viewers, you guys will be able to see when the guys on the bottom are streaming their gameplay. How I'm gonna say this now. This doesn't feel like a truly next gen feature at all. Like this just feels like Nintendo trying to sell you on a basic feature. The thing is,
Discord basically.
yeah, basically it's just proprietary Discord, and I don't think that Nintendo even realized that this is nothing new or exciting.
I think like they spent so much time talking about it in the direct, like
They did.
like
They really did. They think it's revolutionary,
right?
but it's really not. It's
Yeah.
really not.
But they just put Discord on the Switch and like they added the button for it. Like, okay, that's
Yep, and it's paywall as well.
Ooh,
Well,
but
it's
the
free
C
for a
button,
year, but
you gotta pay for the C button.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
yeah. Well, we're gonna get more into that on the critique. The critique will go a bit more in depth on that. But yes, it is. It's free for a year, and then you need a Switch Online membership for it, which is
Wait, so it's like
dog
when
shit.
the original Switch Online was released, right?
Yeah, right.
Online used to be free.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. Overall, yeah, and also look at the stream quality. You can see it right here. Look at on the bottom row right here. The streams are very choppy, like 10 FPS. Which even Discord, if you stream at the lowest quality, you're still getting a 30 FPS stream. Like,
Yeah.
now this could easily be a hardware limitation, because if you're streaming to Discord, then which, I mean, the resolution as well is taking a massive hit. Look at this image right here. So it's gonna be hard for you guys to tell because you're seeing my stream in 720. But look at this. Look at the resolution on this image.
yeah.
It's not good. Like you can see the ghosting on the edges of the tree here.
You can count the pixels.
Yeah, basically. But it's not good. But and then we go beyond, and before we do part off the camera, Nintendo there is going to be a camera sold that is $50 that can be used with this game chats. However, actually, something interesting I learned. Apparently, this camera is not proprietary, meaning you can use like any camera like that has USB-C. So if you get like a Logitech camera, you can just plug that in; it'll still work.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, the camera not being proprietary is actually shocking, given the track record that Nintendo is setting with what's going on. Yeah, that's all. That's really all we have for game chat for now. And then we
On a side note, I like how the little icons bounce every time someone speaks.
yeah, that's kind of neat. It's a breath of fresh air compared to Discord having just a green outline around. And then we go to game sharing. I think this is actually a really good feature.
I agree.
So
It's local play if it was like really awesome.
yeah, it's basically a revitalized version of download play from the DS and 3DS. Like you all remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which if anyone who's watching this is not aware, download play was basically a feature where if you were playing if you and a friend were playing on your DS or 3DS S's, I guess, and you guys wanted to play a game but only one of you had it, there was a feature where almost any game you could almost any game that had multiplayer, you could just essentially temporarily download the game to your friend's console, and then you both would be able to play it.
Dude, the Mario Kart DS download play.
Oh my god!
Ooh, Shy Guy.
Yeah, I have Mario Kart DS, but I never got to do that. One of the things I miss about I hate about not having a DS or 3DS back in the days, because I miss those kinds of those kinds of times.
Mm-hmm.
But game sharing, I think W feature, like,
I don't know why they make it sooner. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, to my knowledge, it does not require Switch Online to do it
I
all.
mean, it kinda did that with the Switch One because you could like download newer versions of games locally from other Switches.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean that's just a form of downloading without the internet, though. I think is what's going on there.
Yeah.
Then we get to the hardware aspects.
But you gotta wonder though,
which
about the download part. Like, if you were to download, wait, never mind. You can't download Switch One from Switch Two.
Yeah. If they're exclusive to Switch 2, that is. But
wait, because like, what if you were to download Tears of the Kingdom from Switch One, but you also want to get the Switch 2 upgrade?
I think you can just buy the upgrade. Like, so what they're doing. We'll get to that in a minute. That's still ahead. We'll get to that in a minute. But for the hardware, obviously it's bigger. It's the screen size. The screen size on the base Switch was 6.2 inches. Switch 2 bumps it up to just under 8 at 7.9. And also somehow the depth of the console is still the exact same, 13.9 millimeters. Which this is actually kind of impressive that they were able to pull this off.
Yeah.
Because which just kind of goes to show how much better the system has gotten. Also, the screen resolution has been increased from 720p to full 1080 to full 1080p, so full HD. And the screen is 120 hertz, so some games will run 120 frames, which I did not think we would get that. It didn't even cross my mind that could be a possibility.
Yeah, it was pretty unexpected.
For a handheld too is pretty good.
Which, I mean, to be fair, most modern iPhone screens have 120. Actually, I think most modern Android as well. Those are 120 hertz. Like my brother has a 15 Pro. That's 120 hertz. He was telling me. HDR support as well, which is I mean HDR was just kind of one of those you might as well features.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what HDR means.
It broadens color range, so colors will appear more vibrant, and
I see.
There's so example here. This is a really bad example because you kind of have to have an HDR capable monitor in order to appreciate the difference here. But this is kind of the net effect HDR has on a non-HDR screen.
Yeah, it's just brighter.
Yeah, it's just brighter. Because the screen's obviously not tuned for that. But then, the Joy-Con 2's being magnetic is honestly something I wasn't expecting, but probably should have. Were you guys expecting them to be magnetic, or did you think they were gonna be friction fit?
I mean, from the leaked images from months ago, I would have guessed yeah.
Wait, magnetic or friction?
If stuck onto the Switch or something.
Yeah. Friction fit.
I think the magnet is pretty cool as well with the rails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about because these ones have a similar thing, like the button on the back of the Joy-Con to detach it or whatever.
Yeah. So from my understanding, to my understanding is that
sorry, you go.
Yeah, sorry. So from my understanding, it's electromagnetically attached, and pushing the button disengages the circuit, keeping it in place, and then you can pull it off.
That's smart. Yeah, because my Switch, my little rail, the button on it, like it doesn't even work. Like you can just take the Joy-Cons off without even pressing the button.
Yeah, that I had that happen once. I had that happen once with my with the Switch I got back in Christmas of 18 or no Christmas 17.
Yeah.
I had that
I feel
happen.
like this would be a lot more
Yeah, it's
durable.
just one of those things that wears down over time, or if you're like really yanking them off hard, then it'll wear it down faster. Another big thing we got to talk about mouse control on this thing. This is okay, so as a multi-platform gamer who primarily does PC, this is probably the best feature I could hope for.
This is super cool.
Yeah. And not only that, this feature is actually being widely supported by developers. Like there have been a number of third-party developers that are saying, "Hey, our game is going to have support for mouse." Like obviously, Prime 4 is going to have it. That's first party though. But Cyberpunk is going to have it at launch.
Yeah.
A number of other games as well.
How will this affect Street Fighter 6 on the Switch?
How does Street Fighter 6 even work? How would that even work? I don't even know.
It doesn't. I know they have like it's later on.
Wait, how does it work on PC? Because I feel like you have to equate it that way.
Yeah, I don't know where it is in the direct, but they had some like they showed some like golf game where it used like the mouse on the Joy-Con.
Oh,
as, like, the
I
gyro-
was talking about that's in the
Turn
that's
around
in
golf.
the welcome tour demo. We'll get to that in a minute.
Stuff is super cool.
3 audio support as well for any headset that can support it. Which again, not a new feature. This was available at launch on the PlayStation 5, but it's nice that it's here. Actually, I don't know if I actually don't know if I have any headphones that can support. My AirPods might be able to do it, but which if you can get that, then that's great. And then the stand, obviously, it's just a stand. It's
Much better than the Switch one.
Yeah. Well,
No contest.
Well, undoubtedly. But I feel like in this case you have to compare it to the OLED because the OLED had a far superior kickstand to the base Switch. So you look at the again. I gotta pull mine out. I should probably leave this out of the dock because I'm gonna be pulling. So obviously the way the OLED deck is, you have so the original one was just this little plastic flap that just kind of slid out and it was very flimsy. It broke off very easily. Like I remember in school it was either Aaron's Switch or Jakari's Switch. The stand, anytime I tried to put it up, it just straight up broke. Like it wouldn't even work. That's how bad it was but here they improved it. Now it is the entire width of the console.
Yeah.
Which
now, the OLED one wasn't adjustable like the Switch 2 one, was it?
It was. You see how it's kind of able to kind of slide wherever. You can scale all the way down on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
OLED works the exact same way.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that much difference. And then having two USB-C ports. This is just quality of life. This is now you can have the now you can just charge the console while on tabletop without needing to have the little accessory with the stands built into it.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Yeah, don't one of you guys have that? Actually,
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know someone in our group had it. Storage as well. Getting octupled to 256 gigs. I mean,
That's so good.
Yeah, it is a significant improvement compared to the Switch One. However, given the amount of third-party support we're going to be getting, I don't think it's going to be enough. I still think an SD card is going to be required. And keep in mind, now you have to have an Express SD card because the other ones aren't fast enough for the system. Which
I feel like storage on Nintendo consoles has always been lacking though. And this is so much better than the Switch One.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, which I'll say, if you're only doing first party, like if you're only doing first party on your Switch like I do, an SD card isn't even really needed. Like I have like all my Switch games installed, which is still a very small library, and I don't even need to use the SD card that's in this thing. moving on to the dock. So, I mean, nothing new here really, other than the fact that it allows the console to transmit in 4K.
Additional note for
Ethernet in the
those.
dock. No more laggy people on Smash Online.
Yeah.
I was gonna make that joke about Street Fighter players.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the LAN port's on the back of the yeah, it is. The LAN port's on the back of the OLED dock as well. So
I was literally gonna say, for all the new Street Fighter players who are looking to get it on Switch, that port on the bottom has a purpose.
Our SF6 server is really that bad? I haven't played it.
No, but for Switch people.
Oh yeah, Switch servers suck, man. And then obviously you actually not. Really interesting. You have the cooling fan right here, which is supposed to help keep the system cooler when it's docked, because I think the system was designed to only be able to utilize its full potential when docked. And the way I can tell this is because for Prime 4, they said that there are going to be 2 graphical modes. There's going to be your quality mode, which is 4K 60 FPS, and then performance mode, which is HD 120 FPS. However, in handhelds, it's actually scaled down. Quality mode is 1080 60, and then performance mode is 720p 120. So I do think that they which I believe that was done to probably save battery life. Maybe try and keep temperatures down as well. Actually, we don't know anything about the battery life of this yet. So what would you guys expect in terms of battery life for the system?
More than the Switch. Or well,
my guess
maybe less. It's
yeah,
like
I was like, there's no way it's getting more. It's either the same or it's less.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo would push for it to be the same as the Switch 1.
Yeah, or at least close to it.
That's what I'd expect. Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, and then moving on to the software side of things. First off, we have the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, as they're calling it, which
I'm just saying, they fumbled. They
did.
already.
You don't even need to say anything else. They fumbled. That's all you
1-2
need to say.
Switch. 1-2 Switch, prime example of a tech demo
Yeah.
that should have been free Switch.
I'm pretty
They
sure
didn't learn from it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason 1-2 Switch wasn't included is because it would have made the system too expensive. I think that's the only reason they didn't bundle it. But it's not like 1-2 Switch would have been that great of a tech demo anyway. Whereas this, like, I'll say this now, I love the concept of this, of going down into like the specifics of how each part of the console works.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
But, like,
Of course, and then of course the glaring issue of this is that the obviously it's paid, which we'll get more into that when we
$80 tech demo, woohoo!
$80
nah,
instruction
they
manual.
wouldn't go that low. They wouldn't go that low.
Remember,
they go low, but
they
not that
sold
low.
1-2 Switch, full retail price.
Oh yeah, it was full retail, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. And then there's like tons of mini games, and yeah, this is the golf mini game you were talking about, wasn't it? Right here. Is this the one?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah.
That's one thing I was thinking. Like, you're not always gonna have like a flat surface in front of you when you're like playing games, you know?
Right.
It's like I wonder what's like the actual like applicability of the mouse thing gonna be like. How's it gonna work? Unless you're sitting in front of like a desk or something, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
I am gonna get a good feel for how that works. I am definitely gonna be picking up Prime 4 solely so I can try out this mouse feature, because I think it's an amazing feature.
If you have your Switch in the living room, you'll just be kneeling on the living room table trying to use it as a mouse.
Yeah. Or just get like. Actually, I think what you need to do is all literally just get a big hardcover book and then just use that. Put it on your lap. Because keep in mind, this ain't like this ain't like a PC. You only need one flat space for one hand, because the other hand can just be literally anywhere else because you use it as a normal controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like keyboard and mouse controller hybrid. I think is the best way to describe this. Anyway, moving on to the software side of things. Obviously, we have the Switch 2 enhanced versions of games, which
I have so much to say about it being a paid thing.
Yeah, which IQ and I were talking about this right before Dane got in the call, and there are gonna be a number of enhancements. I'll have to pull up the actually no, I think I remember off the top of my head, but yeah, obviously Mario Party Jamboree. So the ones I'm going to mention right now are paid upgrades. There are other games that are going to be released that are getting free upgrades, but the paid ones are Mario Party Jamboree, and that's getting some additional content, like some additional games and stuff. Along with minigames being able to be played with the camera, and then Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I feel like this is them just trying so hard. I feel like they're trying to capitalize on these games so hard because they know how big they are.
Yeah, doesn't the Switch 2 edition like connect with the new Nintendo app or something?
Yeah, it comes with, actually, I will skip ahead to it. Okay, it's right here. Yeah, it has this literal, like, you literally get basically Google Maps. You can see all the locations of all the secrets and stuff, all the Koroks.
No, but like imagine like locking important lore behind a mobile app.
Oh yeah, actually that is a feature. Okay, hang on. Let me
It's a feature.
Let me yeah, okay, yeah. So these are all the features you get. So you see voice memories. Voice memories is literally extra lore read off by Zelda and Rauru in Tears of the Kingdom. Navigation, that's basically just Google Maps so you can see the secrets. My play data, that's like those are detailed stats of your save file. And then global play data, I think that's stats across everyone. Then daily bonus, this is literally just a free wheel spin for a random buff you can get.
Wait, do you think Amiibo that you could just scan them?
I think Amiibo is either scan remotely or it's track which ones you have scans. No, Amiibo is if you scan the same Amiibo 5 times, you get an additional bonus.
Oh.
Photo studio, that's just photo mode. Item sharing, you can literally just give an item. You can literally choose an item or weapon from your save and give it to another player in another save. And then, of course, auto build sharing for Tears of the Kingdom. You can share your builds across the games.
For build sharing, I wonder how they'll deal with like item duplications and stuff.
Yeah. We'll know, because if you use auto build and you build it with Zonite, then it just disappears when it gets destroyed.
You see.
Yeah. Also another feature I saw. This gets you 2 save files. Like, and honestly, why was that not a feature from the start? Like, I literally have an alt account on my Switch just so I can have an additional save of these games.
Yeah.
And then of course, these are I think it's $10 upgrade.
Like, you only get one save file.
No. Yeah, you gain another save file in addition to the one you already have, which I think 2 saves will suffice just fine, because you have one save which is like the big save that you've been playing for years and it has all your big progress and stuff, and then the other one's just the one you can just delete at will if you want to, if you're just like, I want to replay the game. Which it's actually interesting because Breath of the Wild, you could technically have 2 saves with Master Mode. Actually, I wonder how that would work. Are you gonna have 4 saves in Breath of the Wild now? Whatever, all in due time. These are $10 each to upgrade, which I'll say Jamboree I can kind of say is fair because you're adding additional minigames and stuff. This, you're really pushing it.
That would mean that if you wanted the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom, $80.
Yeah. What? Hey. I mean, you can just upgrade from your Switch One edition. But I think what they should have done with this is they should have actually nope, that's for the critique. Save that for the critique. Moving on, and then Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's basically in the same case. It's basically the same case as Mario Party Jamboree, where it's additional content.
Notice how Smash doesn't get one? Oh, I see what you're doing, Sakurai.
Oh.
These guys are huffing copium really hard right now.
No. Think about it.
No,
You saw the reveal for Air Riders, right? You saw how that was literally the Smash model.
Okay, let's move on. Okay.
That reveal was so evil.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I did mention earlier that there are going to be Switch enhanced versions that are free, which there is a list. I haven't been able to find, but I know there is a list, and I know among the list is Odyssey is getting a free enhancements. ARMS is getting a free enhancements. A couple others that 3D World and Bowser's Fury, those are getting enhanced as well for free. And also Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which those two had better be free. They need to be free, given how shit they perform on the base system, even after being patched.
Yeah.
That would have been funny though. Like
10 FPS.
You gotta pay
Scarlet
$20 extra.
For me, anyway, that is the only time they've ever hard fumbled a launch on a technical fronts. And then the rest of the direct is mostly games, so we're not gonna spend much time on these. We're just gonna. So I think
this one looks awesome. I'm just saying.
We're just gonna quick fire all these just to get through them quickly. So we've got drag. Is it Drag X Drive? Drag Drive? It's wheelchair basket. It's basically wheelchair basketball meets Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which it looks fun. And then we get
action. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then we get to
this will be Wii Sports in 2025.
And then Elden Ring. I should have seen this. I should have seen this one coming, because we all kind of knew the system would be as powerful as a PS4. Obviously, Elden Ring is on PS4, so. And however, it's my belief that the Switch 2 is actually is a bit more powerful than we thought. As to why, I'll get to that in a minute. But if you look at Elden Ring, the game looks a lot better than you expect it would look, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like Elden Ring, not Nintendo bad Elden Ring.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. And obviously, it does show its wear. There's one specific shot. This one's gonna be for the viewers. You guys aren't gonna be able to see this on the resolution.
Switch edition, and it's just the lowest quality setting.
Oh, right, yeah, right here. You can kind of see the distant spikes are kind of fading out. I don't know if you guys are able to see that at all.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the texture detailing on the ground here is lackluster as well. So I mean, obviously they've made cuts. They were never gonna match the highest version on PC, but still.
I mean, it's fair because you still get to play it handheld.
Right. And then Hades 2. I mean, is there much to talk about here on the technical fronts?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. We'll skip past that. Street Fighter 6 getting ported to
Switch. Okay. Street Fighter 6. If you get the Switch 2, get Street Fighter 6 because it comes with everything. The $60 for essentially all the DLC.
It comes with all DLC?
That fuckassery.
It comes with all the DLC on Switch?
Yeah, it comes with all DLC.
Okay, that's actually pretty sick. That's actually a sweet deal.
Oh, well, no, not like DLC costumes and all that, but like it still comes with like all the characters, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I meant, just characters. Like costumes, like, yeah.
Because like,
I'm talking about Street Fighter.
Like, no, even on PC, like World Tour ran like shit for most of my friends, so I wonder how that's gonna work for like the Switch.
Yeah. What were they all playing on?
Like a PC.
Okay. We'll have to see how that goes on. DaneMan and SomeoneWith9IQ. I don't know too much about this one. Either of you have anything to say about this one?
Not me. I don't know anything about this either.
IQ?
Nope.
Okay, we'll move on then. And then Split Fiction. I can't say I wasn't expecting this one, but I can't say I was either. I've heard good things about it. And I mean, hey, if you're putting your game out, the more systems you're putting your game out on, the better. And then we get to EA putting Madden and FC.
I hope it has mouse control mode.
And then Hogwarts Legacy. This one's kind of a necessary upgrade because I don't know if you guys are aware, but this game was actually ported to the base Switch, the Switch 1. And that it runs. It runs. It doesn't run great, but it runs. Having that upgrade's gonna be nice. And then Tony Hawk Pro 3 and 4 are getting ported. Or actually, so wait, is this game released yet? I actually don't know. I haven't tracked with it at all.
I do not know.
Okay.
Neither do I.
Yeah. This is gonna be but anyway, this being on there. Also this fucking shot right here. I have no idea what's going on here, and I love how Nintendo just showed that and then just didn't elaborate on it at all.
You're in SpongeBob. Have fun.
Yeah. Okay. And then Hitman getting ported. That's a launch title as well. Which I haven't played Hitman, but it does look fun. It's an amazing game. Like this shot right here of all the neon. Like how are they able to pull this off? This looks beautiful.
I don't know. Some magic.
Assuming this is running the Switch 2 and they're not trying to pull what Ubisoft did with Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh my goodness, that Mortal Kombat 1 port.
We're not gonna talk about that. We gotta stay on topic here. And then okay, new 007 projects. This one was crazy. Like IQ, I know you and I were freaking out when this one.
It's a guy from Melee.
Yeah. So, as for what this is, okay, so that's all we know is that it's new 007, but still though, having a new James Bond game in this day and age is gonna be amazing. And then, of course, you have, I think this is just an HD port of Bravely Default, which is a Square Enix game from, I don't even know. I didn't know this was a thing. Anyway, either of you have anything to say about that one?
Just put me to sleep.
No.
Okay.
And then it's Dame the guy.
Yep. Yeah, and then Yakuza 0 director's cut. Apparently there is extra I think extra cutscenes in this version of the game. Which I don't know much about Yakuza. I haven't played it at all. And then after this we got a big one, which this one actually was kind of unexpected for me. And that is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonments. This is developed. So this one's being developed by Koei Tecmo. This is the same company that made Dynasty Warriors back on the PS2. And if you ever played Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors feels the exact same way. They made the first Hyrule Warriors. They made Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity in 2021, and then they're doing this. And this is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was basically an alternate timeline where Hyrule was able to defeat Ganon, and he didn't annihilate the kingdom, which leads to Breath of the Wild. This is basically what happens before 1,000 years before Tears of the Kingdom, when Ganon was imprisoned, essentially putting his quest for domination on pause. I wonder how the game's gonna perform, because I don't know if any of you guys played Age of Calamity, but the performance was a bit iffy on that one.
A beat 'em up game with a ton of people on the screen.
Yeah, like having.
Hey, at least it's not as bad as the Hyrule Warriors game on 3DS.
I forgot that was a thing. Holy shit. Yeah, no, being like, yeah, a game with that many entities is bound to push your CPU. And then obviously it's coming out in the winter, which I'm gonna have to take a look at that because I very much enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom, and seeing how the imprisonment went down would be nice. And then they dropped a bombshell with the GameCube Virtual Console is now coming to Switch Online, which
Notice how there's no Smash Melee.
is they must. I mean,
I hate Melee.
they could always add it later. Which I know you. I don't even need to ask you guys to know that you two are both very excited for this one. Because I mean, GameCube is one of the best Nintendo consoles ever released, even if they don't think that.
It got Soul Calibur, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it includes the exclusive Link DLC.
Right.
Obviously, Wind Waker is going to be available at launch. I'm hoping for Twilight, which if Twilight Princess gets added, then that means the Switch 2 will be able to play literally every single Zelda game ever released.
It's crazy.
Like, literally, the only 2 games missing on the Switch were Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Guess what system both those games released on? GameCube. Guess what's being added? GameCube. F-Zero GX. I always wanted to play this, but I never got around to it.
Don't worry, you're just like an F-Zero fan playing their favorite game for the first time.
Yeah, it happens to everyone at some point, though. And of course, they're finally doing an official Switch GameCube controller, which
I can finally retire my shitty Power 8 controller after.
Power A controller, bro.
No, like the joystick on it like rubbed off.
Dude, I would go through Power 8 controllers so quickly back when I used them, and then I got this thing, my limited edition Switch Pro controller that was for Tears of the Kingdom. Never had another reason to worry. Then again, I haven't exactly pushed this thing that hard. Still though. And then
But real talk, the Power 8 controls.
And then
are, like,
Deltarune being added, chapters 1, 2, and then which an announcement of not only a port of 1 and 2, but also the release of 3 and 4. Which I don't know anything about Deltarune. Do you guys have any input on this one?
Not really.
I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah. To my understanding, Deltarune is free, so you
Yeah, you can download it on Switch right now
okay.
to play the first 2 chapters.
I will add to the
But
list.
I heard the full release was gonna be $25, and every chapter after that is gonna be free, just like with the Shovel Knight collection.
Okay. And then Borderlands 4 being announced that it's gonna release on Switch 2. I haven't played Borderlands 4. I don't think you guys have either. So we're just gonna move past that for now. Civ 7 is gonna be ported as well, and it is going to have mouse control supports, which I think for a game like Civilization is just necessary.
Oh, hear me out on the mouse support. Mario Paint.
I actually did hear a couple people talk about that one. I think Mario Paint with the mouse would be great.
Yeah.
They make a sequel now.
True, just like the new Pokemon Snap game.
And then we've got a 2K announcing that they're going to be porting WWE and NBA to Switch 2 as well. In which, we've gotten this far. I should probably best mention that this is one of the big things I was expecting with the Switch 2 was that
then the stream froze around here, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, if you're watching the live stream, it froze right around here, and then got delayed by so long. It was the funniest technical issue. This game, I don't even know what this is. I'm just gonna move past it. And then Enter the Gungeon 2. Was this game announced before this, or is this technically the first announcement of the game?
I don't know.
It's the first announcement.
Okay, that's fun.
So imagine being an Enter the Gungeon fan, hearing about that, but the stream still frozen on that one game before it.
Oh yeah, and then the next announcements that they went over as well after this one, Starseeker, Yeah, this one I heard. Cyberpunk, which, okay, this is the game that made me think the Switch 2 is more powerful than we think. Because, I mean, we all know the tragedy of this game's launch and how broken it came out to be. And then, and obviously, even after fixing the game, it still struggled to run well on PS4 and Xbox One. Even so, like when the DLC was announced and the 2.0 update was released, CPR just said they were dropping support for those two consoles. That they were not going to release a 2.0 update on there. Which, if they're putting Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, then they must be confident it can run well. So this thing is stronger than we think it. This thing is more powerful than we think it is. Is my conclusion with this game. And then again, this game also going to have mouse supports, which is another neat feature. And then this one kind of surprised me. Final Fantasy VII Remake getting ported over. Not necessarily in the fact that I didn't think it could run, but more so in the fact that I wasn't sure that I didn't think that Square Enix was able to do that, because this game was a PS4 exclusive, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it was. Actually, I should know. I have it. I literally have the game. It was released on PS4 and then got a paid upgrade to PS5 with a DLC, kind of in the same fashion as the other games we've got. And then it was ported to PC. I thought it was gonna stay on those three systems. The fact that it's coming here is surprising to me. And then this is just a quick highlight reel of most of the stuff we've already seen.
And then
we get this one. This was the big one for me. I am very excited about this. Dane, I know you are too. IQ, I don't know. You're probably not.
I thought it was gonna be Resident Evil.
Me too. Like, you and I both thought that for a minute. But no, this is called The Duskbloods. It's being developed by From Software, directed by Hidetaka. It's a Souls game, directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki himself. That'll be releasing exclusively on the Switch 2. And Dane, I mentioned to you last night that I knew what Nintendo's game plan was with this.
Yeah.
And here's what the game plan was. Because unless you've been tracking the Sony's the PlayStation community at the Sony State of Plays, you would know Bloodborne is one of the most asked for games right now. Like the Bloodborne players are starved for literally anything right now. At best they get a remake. At worst, a 60 FPS patch. Even if all they get is a 60 FPS patch for PS5, they'll be satisfied. That's how hungry they are for this game right now. But Sony has downright refused to touch this. As to why, I don't know. They probably don't think don't see it as profitable.
Just like Capcom with Mega Man. Please, Capcom, a new Mega Man.
Yeah. So I think what Nintendo did is that they saw the demand. I think what they're trying to do is I think they got with FromSoft and told them, hey, make a game influenced by Bloodborne, but make it legally distinct. And this shot right here, this is very clear reminiscent of Bloodborne. Like, if you look up an image of Yarn from Bloodborne, they are very similar. But I think what Nintendo wanted to do was they wanted to try and pull in that segment of the audience that started for Bloodborne, because now you have something similar directed by the same guy who made Bloodborne, developed by the same people who made Bloodborne, on a different system. So I think this is Nintendo trying to strike all the iron tots. And I think with this, they're hitting the nail right on the head. This, in my opinion, is a 200 IQ play from Nintendo right here. Seeing a demand, how their competitor refused to touch it, and then grabbing it themselves. As for the game itself, I know you're not going to have any takes on this, but Dane, what are yours?
I think the game looks super cool. I'll definitely play this. Like I've only played Bloodborne. That one time you came into my house.
Oh
Like I haven't played
yeah,
much Bloodborne. Super cool.
yeah.
And like I don't know, because like the thing with the Bloodborne fan base, I don't know, would they be willing to buy a whole Switch 2
They would.
plus this
They
game
would.
to play the
I know them.
game?
I know them well. They would. You know why?
Why?
Because this game would give us God Run 4. Like God Run 4 is gonna be a thing with this game now.
That is true.
Uh, and then of course we get to
And then the fucking evil reveal trailer, because you cannot tell me that isn't the Smash model.
Dude.
yeah. Yeah, IQ was adamant that that's the Smash model of
World War
Kirby.
II.
And then, of course, this is a sequel to Kirby Air Ride. It's called Kirby Air Riders, being developed by Masahiro Sakurai, who, if you're unfamiliar, he is the creator of all the Smash Bros. Games.
And Kirby's father.
Did he do Kirby as well?
Yeah, he made
Oh.
Kirby.
I did not know that. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, and then of course
The new DK game.
yeah, the new DK game, which this is
I
looking.
love how you can still see like a part of Rare in like the enemy designs and stuff.
Yeah, is Rare? No, wait, no, Rare's not working on this. They got
No,
bought by
Rare's not
Microsoft.
working on it.
I almost forgot about the acquisition for a second. Yeah, I feel like Nintendo's trying to stay true to what Rare did for DK back in the day.
But I really love the new model and how expressive it is.
Yeah.
I love how they're leaning more into the classic DK model.
Yeah, which also, if you guys are if any of you guys are curious about this, the Treehouse that occurred earlier today, they did do a gameplay demo for this game. So if you guys are interested in seeing more about the game, then go take a look at that, because you'll get a lot of insight on how this game's gonna play and what it's gonna do, even beyond what we already know. And I believe that's the end of it. We've covered pretty much everything. So overall, how would you say we are looking in terms of how this launch is going to go, and like actually, even further, how this generation is going to go?
I'd say even with how expensive it is, Nintendo fans are gonna eat it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wait.
Nintendo fans will complain all day about the system and then buy it anyways.
Yeah.
True.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
So I do definitely think that Nintendo has really kind of done some really has taken a big risk that I'm not entirely sure is going to be able to pay off for them. They've made a lot of errors, which IQ and I are going to be later on doing another video similar to this, where we do an in-depth critique of what they're doing with all this, which I would have included that in this video, but the issue itself is so glaring that it really needs its own video. That's how big the problem is. Because this not only spells problems for Nintendo themselves, but also the entire industry. So if you guys do want to hear about that, do stay tuned for when that does get uploaded. But for now, I think we've covered just about everything. I want to thank Dane and IQ for joining me today. Boys, thank you for lending me your time.
Yo.
thanks for having me.
All right, and I will see you all later.